ndio aweze kusikia. Unajua waziri anaweza kuwa asikiangi akitembea.
Bwana waziri, kwanza nataka kushukuru. Mimi najua umefanyia kazi nchi hii kama mwanasiasa kwa miaka nyingi, kama waziri sasa umefanya kazi mzuri, lakini saa hii kazi yako imeharibika. Wewe hii subsidy program yote inakuja chini ya ofisi yako. Wakulima, fertilizer imeingia National Cereals and Produce Board, ikatoka huko ikaenda kwa wakulima. Wakulima wamepata hasara na time imepotezwa. Wewe kama waziri, nchi ile ambayo imeendelea vizuri, waziri ya serikali akifanya makosa anajiuzulu. Kwa nini makosa imetokea chini ya program yako? Wewe hujajiuzulu mpaka leo uko kwa serikali. Swali ya kwanza ndio hiyo. Swali ya pili, subsidy ya fertilizer. Kuna international market ya fertilizer. Subsidy ya fertilizer inaanza kutoka wapi? Kutoka kwa wakati unanunua, ama wakati inakuwa transported, ama wakati ya duty na levies. Subsidy inatoka wapi? Serikali ina subsidize kwa njia gani? Kwa sababu kuna international market iko inajulikana. Kwa hivyo baada ya international market iko freight, iko taxes. So swali, subsidy ya serikali imeingilia wapi bei ikakuwa mzuri? Hiyo ndio swali nataka kuuliza. Ya mwisho, kuna wenzangu walisema uko na family pengine katika hiyo mpango ya MEMS. Mimi nataka kuwa direct kwako. Kuna madam ambaye ni mjumbe wa Eldai, wakati fulani mlikuwa na uhusiano. One of the director moja kwa hapo ni ndugu yake. Watu wanasema kwa sababu ni ndugu yake ulipatia kazi. Hiyo ni maneno ya ukweli, kwa sababu kuna nafasi ya kusema.
Senator Chute, you know, if you arrange, you have to take evidence here before you say. If maybe you have...
Yeah, the question I'm asking, I'm supporting the...
Senator Chute, yes. Let the chair finish.
Yes.
When you say, ukisema mtu alikuwa na mahusiano, kama kuna marriage certificate unaekelea hapa kwanza, kwa sababu if you are arranging and you don't have any evidence, you know, kwa hiki kao,
Chair, okay, maliza.
Haifai. Hiyo maneno tunaongea hapo mwanzo. Kama una any evidence, iwezi letwa katika ikamati.
Yes. Chair, okay, Chair. Hiyo swali nimeuliza iko katika, ilikuwa kotini, ilikuwa kila mahali. Hiyo ni kitu Kenya mzima wanajua.
Unaweza leta stakabadhi
hiyo iko tayari, hata yeye mwenyewe anazaleta. Alikuwa kotini kwa hiyo maneno
unaweza ileta hapa.
So swali yangu chairman, wenzangu walipita kando. Mimi nimesema wacha nikuje straight, kwa sababu wanasengenya wao, wanasema semeji yake ndiye amepatiwa contract lakini influence National Cereals and Produce Board. Swali yangu, hiyo kitu wanasema ni kweli ama kitu nazunguka hapo ndani ni kweli? Umepatia semeji yako biashara ama ni uongo? Hiyo ndio swali yangu. Ya mwisho chairman, utaniruhusu niulize, iko mtu anaitwa Alan Namu alileta issue ya fertilizer, na bwana waziri akasema hiyo Alan Namu amesema uongo. Waziri atueleze, Alan Namu ndio amesema kweli ama yeye ndio amesema maneno ya ukweli? Akubali kama Alan Namu wako na ukweli, apologize mbele ya Kenyans, aseme kweli Alan Namu amesema kweli, fertilizer ilikuwa na shida. Asante sana bwana chairman.
Waziri, kuna maswali mengi meulizwa. Uko na ruhusa ya kujitetea kujibu. Mmoja wapo, Senator Chute anauliza kwa nini hujachomoka uende Meru. Sasa mimi unaweza mjibu.
Sawa, ningetaka uniambie nataka nijitetee kwa wapi, sababu unajua wakati ukifika kujitetea unaweza kuamua kimya, unaweza kuongea, na lakini unajua we want us to, I really do not want us to get off level of trying to dramatize these proceedings and remain relevant to the issues and not digress. Because unajua, and I think this matter is so complex. Understanding the issue of fake, no fake, substandard is a scientific matter. Na unaona Jute ananiuliza subsidy ilitokea wapi na ni nini. Na subsidy Jute ni kwamba bei ya fertilizer imekuwa juu kwa muda mrefu. Serikali ikaona kupunguza gharama ya fertilizer, lazima iweke pesa kiasi fulani ilipe kutokana na pesa ya taxpayer ili mkulima apunguziwe hiyo gharama. Hiyo ndio subsidy. Na hiyo ni imepitishwa na bajeti ya bunge na nini, and that is what we are doing, and that's why fertilizer ni 2,500. Nilisema mimi I am not conflicted and I will never be. Lakini unajua vile ulisema nimekuwa kwa siasa na kwa muda public life for a long time. Na stories zangu zimeandikwa mingi zaidi. I think you would also have started thanking me because I'm the one who doesn't hide or run away from what the people say, and I confront answer questions and answer to them. When I sent Alan Namu, because I had not heard, seen or anything, and I made proper reference of what was done there, because I don't listen to his stories. Because even last time, when there were campaigns, because he works with other people around to malign people, you don't know. He ran another story about me, about the relationships you have to want us to discuss here. You know where I came from, what in business I've done in government, you know, all these kind of funny story. That's why I didn't really want. I don't even watch him because it's not objective. That's why. Now, when you ask me about matters that are in the public domain, the lawyer that represented the member for Arundai is with me here, Mheshimiwa Omari, in the matter. The court had a finding, right? I didn't have a relationship. So I don't know whether it's the relationship of talking, girlfriend, boyfriend, what you want to me. You know, those are different stories. But that story is rested. Whatever you had was cleared by the court. And in fact, I'm very happy because that matter was properly interrogated. That matter moved from the lower courts to the high court and even to the Court of Appeal. So that's a resting matter. So unless he's using people, if she wants to come back and sending emissaries, there's no space. There's none at all. And don't remind us of those stories. So he has some brother, if that is, I don't know, where is so I know Chesang is not here to remind me of the name, and I don't think it's fair to continue because the issues that they hand before judges, before courts are many, right? And they are not very good. So please spare me that one because I think the country had a lot of drama. The first case that was televised divorce, televised live on and divorce matter was mine in the history of the world, and those matters are hand in camera. So you may understand what it means, and then that you want to get us into never anywhere, and for a divorce, for a marriage that never existed. So please, Chairman, please, I don't want to get into that drama. Please let me be spared out of it. But I've just decided to mention so that you understand. And when I say people can use your bring stories, Chair, I am in my mind. But let me ask, even assuming as a human being, if I had control and I was to make a decision whether to want him attend or not, out of the pain I've gone through, do you think I would have done it? That should tell you how shocking the story is for me, and if I knew, it would never have happened, right? But to me, I would also be unfair. And that is not my domain. So if there was a tender, advertised, and everybody has a right to do business, and within the framework of the parameters set out, in his own way, got a job, right? Then it's fine, it's competition. Kenyans have a right to serve government or to provide services. But me, I didn't know. I'm just hearing it now. And when I asked for a list of those people that were awarded tenders, it was not my business to go to check who the CR12, who the owners are. And even if I read the name, because I never knew about it, I will not even put that question next. So when we deal companies are entities by themselves, you deal with them as such. And I expect, and I have told you what precautionary measures I put in place as the CS to ensure we require quality fertilizer. So when you are asking for quality fertilizer, you don't care who is delivering the fertilizer, because your business is fertilizer of good quality, not who is doing it. Thank you.
Chair.
Just a minute to accord.
MD, National Serious Board, you need to answer my question.
Which question can you remind the...
I said, why is he still here? He has not resigned because he has let down the farmers of Kenya. Kama heshima tu, ungeenda nyumbani. Kwa nini usiende nyumbani kama umeuliza afanye na hata CS ungefute kazi kwa sababu ameharibu kazi yake?
The mandate of the National Cereals and Produce Board is enlisted in Cap 338 of the laws of this country. And one of the roles of the National Cereals and Produce Board, I would like to invite members to look at the notice or the legal statutes which establish National Cereals and Produce Board. One of the main roles of the institution is to manage the national food reserves of the country. Number two is to ensure that we promote post-harvest management and all that. The mandate of National Cereals and Produce Board does not include anything about quality of anything produced in Kenya.
Are you trying to tell us that then the fertilizer got into your stores by mistake?
I'm coming to that. Chair, if allow me.
Yes, continue.
I come to that.
Continue, MD.
Yeah. So the role of the National Cereals and Produce Board is not about management of quality of any products, whether imported or locally produced. We align ourselves with the standards of the country in each and everything we do, because we have standards which are prescribed by the necessary statutes. And that is the way we operate as an institution. And these standards are prescribed by relevant regulatory bodies across the country, and that is what we strive as much as possible to adhere to. Now, those standards are given to those institutions who have been given the standards. There may be manufacturers. They are given those standards by those organizations to be able to adhere to those standards. One thing which I can say for sure is that before we commenced the supply of this product, we were convinced that those manufacturers had the necessary approvals from the regulatory bodies. We are 100% convinced, and we did our own due diligence. They had the necessary raw materials and everything required to be able to produce. These are companies who have been in existence for a while now, and they even supply the products outside the subsidy program. They supply in the open market. You find their products in Agrovest and other places. So with that in mind, we proceeded and engaged them, and we went a step further and confirmed the quality of those products using another independent process through KEFIS. And all the samples which were given to KEFIS were indeed found of quality. If there were issues with the standard, as the CS have said in some batch which had issues, it is a prerogative of the manufacturer to be able to account for those standards and ensure that he adheres to the standards of the country. So what I can say in a nutshell, our quality assurance processes do not include testing of products because we don't have that capability. We rely on government institutions to ensure that the quality of the products we supply is of good measure.
Chair, that answer is not just...
Chairman.
Senator Wakoli.
Thank you. Although they have not answered why they are not in the village, but let me proceed with my question.
Yes, let them think about it, then he'll still answer Senator Chute.
My question is, when you look at this book of the contract agreement in this big volume, Waziri, it indicates that a bag of fertilizer must have a polythene bag inside. With line with the question I asked about the ingredients of making fertilizer, if it includes gravel, donkey droppings, and urine, if it is part of the process. We have samples just out here. I think it was Mavuno and some other company. And do you think that the system has been infiltrated? Those are my questions that have not been answered. Because we were in Embu, Laikipia, Nandi, and these ingredients of fertilizer cut across these counties. And that is why we're asking if these raw materials were got from donkey rearing areas, goats, like that. It's as serious as that. Thank you, Waziri.
Chairman.
Waziri.
You know, I think you didn't well to call me for this meeting, because I'm also getting to understand and even know some other things that I was not aware of. Now, there is an allegation again from Wakoli. There is another fertilizer that has issues called Mavuno. I am not aware about it. You are telling me for the first time. You are alleging that doesn't have the polythene cover or something inside. I am not sure. I have not seen. I don't know. So these issues we are discussing are serious. It's good you are saying it. But please, Chairman, just like the MD has said, when KEBS certifies a manufacturer and the standards are agreed and the manufacturer decides to give what he did not submit for analysis of a sampling for certification by the standards body, it cannot be really the problem of NCPB. It can't be our problem. It is the problem of the manufacturer, and the manufacturer must be dealt with according to the law. Because at least in terms of ensuring that we have done what is humanly possible to ensure that the farmer is protected, I am persuaded beyond doubt that we have done our best. And unless the contrary is proved, I think humanly we have. So you can share information with us, we can exchange notes with you and be able to see where to apportion blame, right? So that at least we assist the country, and so that we also come up with penalties or measures that will deter others unscrupulous business people from engaging in such acts.
Chair. I also want to bring to your attention, because now it has been mentioned, there is a cooperative society known as Mjinga Cooperative Society. They bought 4,200 bags of fertilizer. 4,200. They got 1,100, 2,100. No. Yes, I'm going there. Mavuno fertilizer. We'll start with, they bought 17, and they bought 3,100. They carried 3,117 from the M depot. The remainder of 1,100, which they were paid for, which have never been issued, supplied up to now, from last year 2023 from M depot. When they went, they were given Mavuno 10-26-10. And after that, for them, you know, cooperative societies have their way of working. They decided to take samples and take to the cargo lamps. I'm talking about 2023. Now, to the amazement, the lab number was 2024. This is fertilizer analysis from Carlo, which I'll share with you shortly. Remember, they say it's 10-26-10. The amount of phosphorus that it had was 3.6. In the bag is 26. the soil, most of the soils from New Ngariama of Society farms had more phosphorus. The soil had more phosphorus than the fertilizer itself. This is, I'm talking about Mavuno 10-26-10. So they just went and bought 4 fertilizer for sampling because they have to take samples. Luckily they didn't buy the rest because they knew, because the ramp resort from Karuro, which is under you, showed that they only had 3.6% instead of 26% of phosphorus. Even the soil from the market center in Githore had more phosphorus than the fertilizer itself. Now, that's another issue. Once they disputed because they refused to take Mavuno, up to now, they paid. They have never been issued with 1,100 bucks from last year. That is not for the CS, it's for the MD, NCPB. We went there, we told them they already had another 17 fertilizer, which is okay. Why can't they issue? So, one MD, farmers, cooperative societies, the farmers are getting loans to buy this fertilizer. Is it fair when the NCPB keeps the fertilizer 1,100 bucks from last year in November up to now? Is it fair?
Thank you, Chair. It's absolutely not fair. I'm aware of that matter. And what I didn't know is about the testing of Mavuno fertilizer. That I was not aware of. What we committed to do, Chair, is to replace them with 777. And I commit by tomorrow, as long as they are paid, they'll get the 777.
Good. That one I think is certain.
Chair.
Yes. Mondegi, then Senator Manzo, then yes.
I would really plead with you. While you are referring to a document which we do not have, it's only fair for us to be able to look at it and check, because you are now trying us by ambush. We don't know. You want us to comment on them?
Yes.
The history of the matter.
You can see, Bonasies, the managing director of NCB, who is director under you, has just confirmed he is aware of the matter. Unless now the communication problems within your office, not from my side.
Talking about the testing, because at least can answer.
And I can tell you the manager of NCPB in Embu is aware of this matter. Bwana, if you ask him, he can tell you about this issue. Yes, but I am not complaining about the fertilizer quality now, because that is the did. Yes. That the batch which was there. But you can also confirm whether that analysis was done by Carlo. That's why they went to a government institution, so that it will not be disputable. It even has a serial number.
Point of information, Chair. Yes. Based on what we have realized, I think through you as the Chair, we need to do an audit of the fertilizers in the Kenyan market today. Are they of the necessary ingredients as allowed by government? Because we might be people might be buying some things that are not fertilizer in this country with the rubber stamp of KEBS and the recommendations of the ministry. So I think that's, from now moving forward, we need to do that kind of audit. Thank you.
Senator Akori, I have a letter here, because you had invited them, and they said that the idea of doing the audit, they are already the assist of that information, and they are doing it. Senator Mondege, please.
Asante Chairman. Hii swali ni kwa Wasili, lakini naona Wasili yako kwa mkutano mwingine. Bwana Wasili, swali langu inaonekana kwa swali langu hapa siku kikao leo ni kikao muhimu sana. Kinahusu mambo ya ukulima, na siku ya leo umejaribu kujitetea, na ndio tungejua tunaelekea mlengo gani, na ulikuwa unatetea Wasili wa trade ambaye tunajua after kupeana kazi kuna watu wa KEBS wangekuwa leo hapa. Inaweza kuanji ama ulikuwa unajua Wasili wa trade atakuja, ama ulimuuliza kama watu wa KEBS wako na mkutano Mombasa na unajua kuna kingine tunaweza kukaa haraka, ndio wale watu ama directors angekuwa hapa aweze kujitetea, kwa sababu msigo yote ni kama inaweza kuelekea kwa KEBS na KEBS angekuwa hapa angejitetea, tujue ama yule mtu alipatiwa kazi kama ndiye alitengeneza stamp mbili, moja ya serikali na ile nyingine akajitengenezea. Kwa sababu tunajua katika Kenya kuna matapeli na wezi ambaye wanataka kuharibu serikali ya Kenya Kwanza. Asante, hiyo ndio swali langu kwa asili.
Senator Mazo.
Chairman, before probably we move, because you know, I don't know, probably we may be live and many Kenyans are listening, and we have also, I am not denying what you are saying, but the sample presented to me, or the results presented to me, at the look of the results, there is the findings by the Kalor lab, if at all, because you know you can write on paper, you can do so many
No. Unless now you are doubting my credibility on a CS.
No, Chairman, just please allow me.
You are,
because you know you can draw blood from Maanzo.
no.
And then take it
When a CS, you know you are casting aspersion to the chair. And I want
not to the chair. I have no problem to the chair. I'm just trying to interpret the document that have been given, because the document in itself shows the percentages of nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium fall short of what is declared, or what you have seen is declared in the document. That I agree, looking at it. But here, it doesn't show the sample or the specimen is Mavuno, is Care, or is whichever company. So it is, I'm not able to do really exactly whether it's a sample on Mavuno, this is a sample on whatever fertilizer. That's my only problem. But from what is written, and then I get it, because Carlo is a lab that is certified by Kenas, I can do a paper check, a true of the paper, to confirm what product was presented to them, by this factory. But looking at it, it is true.
Nakusaidia, hebu nitakwambia ni kwa nini nakusaidia. Kwa sababu wakulima wakitoa fertilizer wamepeleka sampuli kwa lab. Hakuna laboratory nyingi zitakwambia ni Mavuno ama ni nini. Mimi nakusaidia wewe kama waziri. Kwa sababu the sample yenye imepelekwa pale, wengi wanaogopa kupeleka kotini. Hawataandika ni Mavuno ama ni nani. Lakini nimekwambia hiyo ndio sample. Nikakupatia historia nzuri sana. Kwamba wakulima walikuwa wanahitaji gunia 4,200. Na wakachukua zile mingi. Fertilizer haikuwa inatosha. Lakini sheria ya cooperative society, as you know, Kirinyaga has a very strong cooperative union. Ukinunua mbolea, na ndio maana unasikia mtu akawa akicomplain juu amechukua hii inasemekana ni gushi. Hakuna. Kwa sababu wao kwanza wanapelekanga wanafanya kazi vizuri kushinda NCPB. Wanapeleka fertilizer kwa maambala. Wanajua huwezi peleka kwa mtu yote, ndio maana wamepeleka kwa maambala ya serikali. Majibu ndio hiyo, na wao kununua hiyo mbolea, walinunua mifuko 4 peke yake ya sample. Hiyo nyingine wakaacha, na ndio maana umesikia MD akisema anawashughulikia. Kwa hivyo uko na unaweza kama iko chini yako waziri waitisha hii majibu pia ujue, labda kuna wakora wengine wanaponyoka tu wanaponea. Uwe kuna 2, 3 wanalaumiwa, lakini kuna wengine wako sokoni. Kwa hivyo nenda uchukue uangalie. Sisi pia hata ile mbolea tumechukua pia tumepeleka kuangalia ili ujue shida iko wapi. Kwamba tunaelewa jukumu lako waziri. Na tunajua huwezi kuwa kila mahali. Hiyo tunaelewa. Shida yetu ni kwamba ukipata mtu mahali amesimama, kinyesi inatoa moshi, trouser iko chini, wewe utasema ni nani mwenye hiyo maneno kama ni wewe? Kwa hivyo ndio maana tuko hapa tujue mbivu na mbichi. Kwa hivyo tukiuliza maswali tujibu, na sione kama tunakuonea. Tunataka kung'amua nini ilitendeka, na ndio maana nakwambia ujasikie hiyo lawama, lakini labda unaweza kupata baadaye. Nenda uchunguze na uangalie, uliza Carlo kama hiyo ilipelekwa maambala yake. Unajua mimi siwezi kukuonea. Kwa hivyo kuna swali ya Mondegi.
I'm just doing a supplementary on Mondegi so I can answer.
So kuna swali ya Mondegi, unataka nani ajibu? Waziri umeulizwa swali la KEBS. Mudhege, nadhani ungerudia kidogo kwa sababu waziri nadhani.
Asante bwana waziri. Siku ya leo, kikao ya leo ni muhimu sana katika Kenya mzima kwa sababu ni mambo ya fertilizer na kila mtu anajua ile mambo ilitendeka, na tumekusikia vizuri vile umekuja ukajitetea, na pia kuna mtu alikutuma ukuje unitetee kidogo ambaye ni waziri wa trade, na tunajua KFC iko under trade. Kama hakukuja uliongea na yeye ukamuuliza na watu wa KFC, kwa sababu tunajua hawa ndio maneno sasa kila kitu ni kwa hawa ulifanya namna gani kusaidia ama kusaidia ndio wawe hapa leo, ama kuongea na waziri wao wakuje ndio tujue mbivu na mbichi, tujue kama kuna mtu alikuja akajaribu kutengeneza stambu nyingine ambayo, kwa sababu tunajua kuna watu wataki mambo ya serikali ya Kenya Kwanza, mambo ya kilimo vile unajua ilikuwa, ndio tujue ilikuwa namna gani, kwa sababu tunajua kuna watu wengine wanaweza kutengeneza stambu mbili. Kwa hiyo ulichangia mlani ndio ule wasili ambie watu wake wakuje na tuwaone, ndio tujue sasa sio kwa hawa ni mambo ya ule mtu alipatiwa kazi alikuwa stamp mwingine wacha ile ya KEBS. Hiyo ndio nimeuliza swali langu.
Chama najua Kenya na wakati kama huu tuko na jukumu ya kujaribu kupanua soko ya vifaa vyetu katika Afrika na dunia yote. Na waziri mwenzangu unajua njuzi alikuwa kule Ghana na rais kujaribu kupanga mipango ya vile tunaweza kupata masoko na mambo mengine. Kwa hiyo waliporudi ile delegation ya kutoka kule Ghana iko nchini siku ya leo, na kwa hivyo alikuwa mbisi kwa hiyo maneno, ndio sababu hangeweza kufika, na akaniambia, nikamwambia nitafikisha hiyo maneno, na pia umekiri ya kwamba barua ilitumwa, lakini pia akasema sababu hakuna kitu cha kufisha, serikali sisi tunasaidiana, tunaweza ku represent one another. Akaniambia pia maofisa wangu watakuja huko, na nilisema kutoka mbeleni tuko na secretary wa trade kutoka ofisi ya Hamiano na ofisa mwingine, kwa hivyo tuko na wao hapa.
Yes, ndio tunaongea mambo yao, kwani ofisi kwa mtu mmoja?
Nauliza swali moja. Yeye atauliza mwisho kwa sababu unajua maana yote vile.
Senator Mudhege, swali linauliza ni muhimu, lakini waziri sidhani kama yeye ataweza kujibu. Kwa sababu waziri wa viwanda alituma mwenye atasimamia Kenya National Trading Corporation, na bado atapewa nafasi kuongea hata kama ununuzi wa bidhaa hakuweko, lakini mtu yule muhimu kabisa hakuja hapa ni mtu wa KEBS. Ukisikia ngumzo ambayo inafanyika hapa, lawama yote inaenda kwa KEBS, na kwa sababu hiyo kujitetea. Lakini Wanaswahili wanasema mla kuku wa mwenziwe miguu mwelekea. Kama umekula kuku ya jirani atafuata miguu, itakuleta mpaka mahali ilishikiwa, na ukiona manyoya utajua imeliwa. Sasa hiyo ndio swali ambayo tumekuwa tukiuliza kwa muda, kwa sababu KEBS lama itaenda huko. Ukisikia ndijo wenye anasema kazi si yake. Sasa Senator Mjinga, ndio maana tumesema kwamba tunabidi tumwite mkurugenzi mkuu, lazima atafika kwa kamati, atajibu maswali na nyinyi pia hamtakuweko. Halafu sasa kamati itafanya taarifa, itafanya nakala ambayo italetwa katika kikao kizima cha Senate kuongelewa. Kwa hivyo Senator Mudhege, waziri hataweza kujibu hiyo swali. Wakati atakuja huyo Rebecca Miano ama MD wa KEBS ndio ataweza kujibu hiyo, kwa sababu anajaribu kuwatetea. Sidhani kama ni jukumu lake. Tuko na acting MD wa KNTC. Swali lako lilikuwa moja, ndio maana ulipewa Biblia. Just one question. Was KNTC involved in the procurement of fertilizer? Yes or no? For this financial year.
Chair, I can confirm that KNTC was not involved in the current subsidized fertilizer. Our role ended on 1st August 2023. So what has been happening, we are not part of it. We are not involved in this distribution.
Good. Unaweza enda nyumbani. Senator Tabitha.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you for giving me this opportunity. I'm a friend to this committee, and I want to take this opportunity also to thank you. I know you've done a great job. I've seen you going around the country to ensure that our farmers get the right fertilizer. And it's good, I know the CS knows, I come from Nakuru County, where we contribute to the national GDP, 35% in agriculture. And because of the subsidy fertilizer, we've risen now to 40% of the contribution in the GDP, in the national GDP. So meaning, Nakuru County are so worried when they hear that there is anybody who can jeopardize the subsidy program. And then looking at what you've said, you've really explained to us in front of those cameras, and maybe it's live, is that you've said there is an external forces that are trying to jeopardize this plan. And you said about the people who are put in sufurias during when people are being told to go to farming. These are very powerful people. You've also said there is also some people in internal forces that were not given the tenders, these tenders. So meaning is a very worrying thing when I remember 97% of Nakuru County is agri-business, is agricultural land. And as we speak, Nakuru County, when I was coming here, I told them I'm here, and that some of the MPs and majority is where, it's an agricultural, more agricultural than the other areas. That is the Njoros, Kusui, North, South, Bahati, Subukia. There is no fertilizer. I don't know that you're aware of that. In fact, they're asking me, why is that the fake one? Because we've noticed really the normal and the fake, we don't know the difference. So that's what they're saying, there is no fertilizer. So mine, when we're facing those cameras, can you assure the farmers of Nakuru County, the farmers of Kenya, that what you're going to do when you talk, and yet we are all relying on you as the CS of the agriculture, that you have external forces that are jeopardizing this program and internal forces that are jeopardizing this program, maybe they are big cartels. What measures have you put to ensure that this will end? Is the rainy season now, and we are planting, and we need this fertilizer, and to be assured that we are getting the correct fertilizer. And then those suppliers of the 3,000 you're talking about that have been held, what are you going to do to them as we speak? And then, of course, the compensation on the farmers. Thank you.
I'll ask, so two questions, so whether CS can answer them together. Senator Chute.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman. My question again goes to the CS. When I CS, I'm also a farmer in Naivasha, and this subsidy, fertilizer subsidy, has helped me a lot also, and I want to say congratulations. But I wanted to know, out of the 2,500 paid, farmers are paying. My question again comes to about the subsidy. What do you pay to the suppliers? Because the farmers are paying 2,500. What is the subsidy, additional money that is being paid by the government? And then we call these things the issue of subsidy. Yes, the MD said they are paying the money straight to the farmer, to the supplier, which is 2,500. My question is, what is the government adding on top of the 2,500? Number two, what is a National Cereals and Produce Board as also selling through their depot? What are they making out of the 2,500 or anything on top? Lastly, why do you use, when I see as suppliers who are brokers or suppliers to import or supply these goods? Why not use National Cereals Board directly to import and distribute. Finally, Bwana CS, the MD said he doesn't care what fertilizer or what quantity or quality, or not quantity, quality of the fertilizer that comes with his godown, and subsequently, whatever is going to be supplied, that is not his business. So that means he won't care if the whole godown or depot is substandard. He won't care. He will supply it directly to the farmers. If that is what he was saying, as CS Agriculture, what is your take on this? Is he supposed to be in that position really? Thank you very much.
Bwana CS.
Mr. Chair, the government component on the subsidy is 1,850. That's why farmers are paying 2,500 for the fertilizers. Number two, you ask why are we using distributors and not NCPB being directly. You know the kind of issues we've had as a country in terms of finance, and the MD came out very clearly telling you the arrangement that we have. One is on consignment basis, where consignment is you bring your product, it is sold, once sold you can pay. So that compared to the direct purchase, you find that we have to spend the taxpayers' money before the product is done, and even if it is not bought or it doesn't go, then we still have it in stock. So those one ensures that the model there ensures that there is fertilizer and we only pay for what the farmers really take. So we really do not have enough money as NCPB to say we would buy 12 million bags of fertilizer that we want for this year because of the kind of expenditure. But we want to become more innovative and see other ways of at least ensuring that fertilizer is available to the farmer. Madam Lindo majority, I agree with you. Nakuru has really supported us in this space on business of growing food. We are faithful to the cause, and we commit that we will permanently be able to do what we can to ensure that they have fertilizer. I personally, 2 weeks ago, went to Nakuru one day, went to a place in a wagon, went to Sirikwa, went to Olenguruone, went to Molo. One day, I covered those areas in Nakuru County. And that day, I did not hear any farmer who had any issue. And it been brought to my attention, I would have really been able to address it from there. Because I was there physically, by myself. It's not my agent or anybody. And the only corrective measure I did when I went there is that the farmers, because I give farmers an opportunity to speak out, because I don't want anybody to, bring niceties in a function so that they clown whatever they've been doing by making the best presentations they can. That's why I ask farmers to speak first, and I know. And the only place that had issues was Olengoruon and Depot, where there was a lady there, as you was called Neptune or somebody. The farmers spoke, were very bitter about our conduct, and I directed the NCPB, the MD here, to immediately move her from there and suspend her. Then we can start dealing with the other stories. And that was immediate. Because, of course, the former normal administrative Fair Action Act rules must be followed so that we are able to bring discipline, and so that we also appear to be able, somebody must be given a right to be behind. Fair hearing is a constitutional responsibility of us. So that's the only area. Otherwise, I went to Nakuru. And Madam Tabitha, I want to tell you, as at the 4th, the fertilizer we have distributed in Nakuru County is a total of 236,670 in different centers around Naivasha, Nakuru, Karunga, Kiamaina. You know, these are all centers that this is your county. You know it better than me, Salai, Chubukia, and that you find it on page 15 and 16 of this bundle. So we are actually quite deep in our counties and to ensuring that the distance that the farmer moves is really minimized. Understand the circumstances that we are working in this limited fiscal space, no budget at times for whatever extra thing that we want to do. But one thing I must appreciate the farmers of this country is that really they have performed beyond our expectation. They have done what we never imagined, and that's why we cannot let them down. That's why I want really to assure them, regardless of the issues there, and we are happy they are coming out, we will seek to really confirm or to establish the truthfulness, the veracity of the issues that have been raised, so that we are able to also get organized in better. You know, this is a learning process. We have seen where the gaps are. We will be able to cover them. If, for example, KEBS is required to test nearly every bag in the next season, we'll have to do it. But see, when certain standards have been agreed and someone else makes a mess, we find that that's why we have found ourselves in this place. But I will take it as a learning experience. I'm happy I'm bringing it up, but please, any information that if I also find is relevant for us to be able to address through policy, another corrective measure that would really be of benefit to our farmers to ensure that the smooth running of the program is maintained and the greater objective of increased productivity is achieved. I am ready and willing really to have a discussion, because I believe you people have gathered or may have a better opportunity to get more information, because the diversity of the committee is really a big strength that we can leverage on to make our work easier and better. Thank you.
Senator Mondege, because I want us to. You are saying something? Yes, ask.
Swali langu kwa sababu tuko hapa kwa kikao ya mambo ya agriculture, sijui ni minister atanjibu ama ni director Kariuki. Wakati tulienda Laikipia County, tulipata invoice ambayo mtu anaitwa John Alan Namo documentary Fertilizer GPC company Sirika Booster gunia 90 bags ambazo hasikuwa mzuri.
Senator Mondege, we are finishing first with the issue of chemicals, then I'll give you an opportunity to ask that question. So, Waziri, wakati tulikuwa tunazunguka, when we are going around, we managed to collect some samples of green, and for the purposes of being clear, some of the fertilizer was also brought by farmers. I have a bag here with me, unopened, because we thought it's wise to come with one bag, full bag unopened, else we will be told that we are the one who have corrected whatever is inside. I'm saying that because on the tender document, I think this is for the MD, Joe. In page 5, first of all, it gives specification of what is being provided to the NCPB depot. And they say, one, the liner is a polyethylene inner liner, given the thickness, the dimension, and the weight. I'm saying that because we opened that bag. I don't know how it is inside, but all the bags from that company didn't have that liner. It goes to the other specification where it says that 10% of empty bags to be provided free of charge with consignment. A sample of an empty bag should be sent to the Minister of Agriculture for confirmation before fertilizer bagging starts. Everybody knows, the fertilizer with the raw material that we know about is hygroscopic. It will now start to absorb the water from the atmosphere. That's why it must have the liner, which is confirmed in the document. It must be having the liner. And a sample was also supposed to be provided before the fertilizer comes to the NCPB. My question will again go and ask, the specifications are here. Who is supposed to make sure that the specifications are followed? That should be during the delivery of the fertilizer. And lastly, Bwana CS, this issue of this fertilizer and other samples of fertilizer is having a very bad effect, especially to the farmers who normally does large-scale farming. The reason why is the fertilizer provided in the Kel green one, it cannot be used for mechanized application during planting. It's giving a lot of problem because it's not granules. I will open that back. Maybe it has the liner, I don't know. But it's not granule. It has a lot of dust inside. So when we went to sell farmers in Nandi, they are switching on now to manual planting because the planter normally apply fertilizer in the plant seeds. So in the future engagement, please let there be a specification that any fertilizer applied should be used for mechanized type of farming. Because we are trying to encourage mechanization, but the input that are being used, they cannot be used by the equipment that we have for mechanized application. That is just for your information. So we have the bag in front of us. And I'm saying that because the specification is very clear on how it was supposed to be. Because we don't want to be told, maybe we are witch hunting. We got it from some of the farmers to see whether it meets the specification too, and we'll be opening it soon. We have one, and we also have another one outside, which should be, the sergeant at arms should also bring, because maybe if you see what we got from the farmers, you'll have more understanding, Bwana CS. This is Mavuno. We'll also open up. This one has and then also on this one,
Chair, a special request.
So if you want to use
A special request, Chair.
you cannot use it.
Chair, special request. Yes. Yes.
Yes. But you see the content of the dust. Unasikia tu kinyesi kinuka. Acha wakili wacha wakili nani hapa na makuu. Wakili anakuwa fertilizer kwa. Chairman, this way chairman. So this one even this one this one is okay. This one that one we can if you open this one, you can see the line. You can see the line even without opening the fertilizer.
But why are you saying it as a problem?
No, this is normal composition.
Can you see?
Hold it like that.
Even.
I think this something moving forward.
The ingredients, droppings, urine, shavings of wild animals.
Nilipata hivyo. Wakulima wanalia.
You know we have friendly samples. Unaona hii rangi mimi hata nimecheka even when you get a salt and a peak for this one, the acidity is a little bit high. That means they're using some salts. Hii unaona liner ina liner. This one doesn't have the liner. What they have done, they laminated inside. It looks like they're supposed to have a liner. But you see, all, even the specification there, you laminate the bag with vanillin, but with the liner. It's androscopic. You see? But the reason why they did the unit is not androscopic, so they know very well it's not a fertilizer. It's the content of the dust itself. 90%. You never understand as well. Yeah.
You know why this is important here? Because now you understand you are comparing mangoes. Not that one.
And the farmers are saying, if you ask the farmers, they are telling you this fertilizer is okay, 17 there, whatever they have, they are testifying. So, hawezi actually, out of the 11 suppliers, they are singling out the having problem with this one. The branding. The concern is the branding.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Waziri sawa, si nimeseti mimi sasa. Mimi ndio nimeseti. Sasa hizi ndio Unangojea na seti naanza kuniambia. Na seti unangojea naanza kuambia.
You know, another thing is the bag should also be serialized. Because if you
Mwengia kwa short.
For the old money. When they are selling this fertilizer, they code the farmers. Yes. Now it becomes an issue. Somebody has to know. You can't identify the exact bag of salt which person and what time. Let me assure you one thing. Any farmer who got a bag, when you got 100%, the number and the voucher is there. But of the bag, the serials of the bag, the serial we don't have.
but at least the bags are the same. If it is green, you tell us every 10 bags is what you trust.
So you are just thinking about moving forward, kind of dynamics in the game is absolutely how to improve.
Yeah, because look at this to stand. I am going
Senator Odinga, please, can you go back? Waziri, another one for my same question.
We have a surveillance team, and we also have interactions with the international fertilizer associations, and therefore we do confirm. We have an estimate price.
And what is the international price for fertilizer per ton?
Well, right now I don't have the details here. I know the price has come down in some products, like DAP. It has come down a little bit. I can give you the details shortly. I don't have them with me right now.
Okay, and you'll also tell me that, because I have the answer for that also.
Okay.
Okay, tell me also, there was one question that you had to answer for me. Now there is an issue with the farmers. Waziri. And the president saying that the farmers must be compensated. Your way of compensating them, you have seen, is to give them another fertilizer which will try to rectify the problem which was there with that fertilizer which already affected the farmers. Now, because the farmers are waiting, how soon are you fixing that problem by giving farmers now? All those farmers, I know just the other day we were in Nandi and we called you, the registration is going on the NCPB depots. How soon are you giving this fertilizer? Because you find most of these NCPB depots, they already have the top dosing fertilizer. Why can't you issue an alert, Bwana CS, today that anybody, because you already know who took these fertilizers, they have gone and registered the NCPB, to start picking the top dosing fertilizer now, so that they can rectify the situation now?
Chairman, we are ready to do that. It will be immediate.
So, for the purpose of the record, is any farmer who is affected and who has gone and registered in the NCPB depot can go today and redeem the top dosing fertilizer for free.
Chairman, that's what we are saying. And even in the event that probably you may have exhausted the stocks that may be there, then it will not take us beyond 72 hours. Because immediately I leave this chamber, we have received fertilizer this afternoon, which I'm supposed to go and check in Mombasa, that the necessary protocols have been followed for clearance to ensure that this conforms with the standard that now I'm alert, I must be on top of things, so we will be able to remedy the situation, Chairman. And it's really regrettable.
Okay, MD, your boss has said it's immediate, isn't it? So this Committee of Agriculture now will expect that any farmers who goes from tomorrow to redeem the fertilizer having registered will get the top dosing fertilizer, one for free. Secondly, no asking for the fertilizer that was given to them, because it will bring another problem and some other reasons, because it was banned, it was taken, because I'm looking at the situation where a farmer uses the fertilizer for planting, but the plants are not responding. If one of the conditions will be bring back the fertilizer that you took, it will be like denying the farmer the right to get the fertilizer. So for us as committee, we don't expect you to start asking for the fertilizer which was given to be brought back, because the farmer might have already used it. That the expenses of bringing the substandard fertilizer back to NCPB should not be levied on the farmers, because it was not their fault. So if we are in agreement on those three things, I think we are ready to go.
Chairman, let me say some things for purposes of clarity, because it is not fair for us to say this is what will be done and then it is not. I want to be understood properly that we have put mechanisms to compensate the farmer. And we have resources that are pending that we owned, which were meant to be paid to the owners of this fertilizer. Before we can make the decision of whether we will give it free or not, and because from our system and the batch number affected is 3,000, and understanding the nature of Kenyans, even those people that took the fertilizer, which is not our problem, if you tell them today come for fertilizer for free, they all stock there, and yet their fertilizer was good. So already we have asked everyone to go back and take back the fertilizer that they have. That is not correct. We get to know how many bags they are within the budget of the money, because there's no extra budgetary allocation. Within the budget that we have for the money that we are owning, which has not been paid, work it out. If we are able to work it out and find that we can cover that expense by all the money we owned, we'll give them for free. Remember, the top dressing fertilizer is also bought at 2,500. But to compensate them, if, for example, because they are used fertilizer, we work on figures to inform me whether they will pay 500 shillings or 1,000 for the top dressing fertilizer. But the promise I'm making is that they will pick their fertilizer for top dressing at a lower cost, if not zero.
Waziri, there I completely disagree with you on that matter. Waziri, uwezi kuniambia, na unajua ni vizuri, Waswahili wanasema mgala muwe na haki yake mpe. Mkulima tayari alilipa mbolea 2,500. Akapewa mbolea gushi, akambebesha akaenda akapeleka shambani. This issue ya kwanza kusema pesa kidogo, that one will not allow. Kwa sababu waziri, mimi pia niko na wakulima ambao wamepata hiyo issue. Shinda sio mkulima. Secondly, unasema mambo ya mbolea gunia 3,000. Kumbuka ulianzia kusema hapa kila mtu anajifanya yeye ni expert kwa mambo tofauti. Kwa sababu wewe pia sio kempo. Kama gunia 3,000 zilikuwa mbovu, zile zingine pia zinaweza kuwa zilikuwa mbovu. Lakini nafasi ambayo tunatumia ni ya kuhakikisha kwamba wale wamelalamika wameandikisha katika vituo vya mashauri ya nafaka. Tukija tuseme ya kwamba tutawapatia almost for free, lakini mkulima alilipa 2,500. Kwanza mwenye kuleta mbolea gushi anafaa hata ile pesa yote malipo na serikali arudishe. Kwa sababu kama mbolea inapanana na mchanga katika madini ambayo iko inarutubisha nini waziri? Kwa hivyo sisi kama kamati msimamo wetu ni moja. Na rais alisema wakulima pewe findia. Findia si ya kuuzwa. Ukisema sasa itikotua na bei kidogo, hiyo bei kidogo nani anaenda kufaidika nayo? Na alipewa mbolea gushi kama ambayo umeiona hapa waziri. Kwa hivyo msimamo wetu kama kamati, yani afadhali waziri tusiweke vindonda chumvi za wakulima. Tayari wako na vindonda. Kuongeza chumvi ni kuharibu maneno.
Niacha nikusaidie kidogo,
ngoja Mondege. Kwa hivyo tunasema kwamba mbolea wakulima ambao waliathirika na mbolea gushi wapewa mbolea wakiidhinishwa kwamba wale ndio waliumia bila malipo yoyote haraka iwezekanavyo. Waziri, kama kuna mtu atafilisika, hebu afilisike. Kwa sababu ukishika simba mkia lazima ujue utaumwa. Kama aliuza mbolea gushi, huyu aliuza, ajue pia ataumia. Kwa nini tumpembeleze? Kwa hivyo tusipembeleze wanaume kwa papasa videvu waziri. Na nataka hiyo majibu pia Senator Mondege aongee, kwa sababu hapo waziri tusiende hiyo njia. Itaharibu maneno.
Nikwambie, huyu atupembelezi, huyu atakuwa mabuzu kabla jioni. Huyu leo. Kwa hivyo hata mimi niko na uchungu na nasikia na siwezi kubali aibu.
Unga vile si amani unasema. Na unajua hata serikali ya Kenya Kwanza rais alisema hao watu wataangaliwa. Kama ni hasara ya gunia 3,000, sitafadhali hao watu wanalia kama kitu kingine. Hata ni laana. tunakuomba waziri uweze kutimiza hii agano vile president alisema na wewe vile unasema. Ulikuwa unakataa mbele lakini umeona ni ukweli. Tafadhali tunakuomba as a Senate committee. Asante.
Kama ingekuwa 3,000 chama nisingekuwa na shinda. Kunajua hata wewe unjanipea orodha uniambia wani wakulima ili niweze kuangalia kwa ile pesa tunjalipa ni ngapi tunaweza. My commitment
Waziri,
whatever we can to make sure.
Waziri, mimi ni mwenyekiti wa kamati ya kulima. Wenye orodha ya maneno ni mkurugenzi mkuu wa halmashauri ya nafaka. Anaitwa Joe Kemote. Mmekaa naye hapo. Sasa mimi nitakupa orodha vipi waziri? Mwenye kukupatia orodha mko naye hapa. Kukupatia orodha
kama kuna ngapi ya wale wamesema wamerudisha na nidhani kuna shinda, then hatina shinda. Kama orodha iko
usitafute maembe kwa mti ya mkaratusi. Utapata. Mimi sina majina yote, mwenye majina ni huyo.
Through the share, I think yes, we resolved. It's also good that we tell as the CS what we agreed. We agreed as a committee. It is not enough just to replace the fertilizer. The farmers have incurred cost in planting. Some of them, they've paid people to plant. And therefore, we will also be looking for the compensation, not only in terms of the refund of the fertilizer, but also of the costs that they incurred, so that anybody else in this country who will think of selling the long input to farmers will know that it comes with consequences. Waziri, we think that cost will not sit with you. It is not going to sit with the National Cereal Board. It is going to be transferred to the person whom they signed the contract with. I've taken time to go through the document, and I know, being a contractor, that there is what you would call indemnity, where you say that the goods that are supplied are in good. If they are not, we are requesting the ministry to start a civil proceeding so that they can recover the money that they are going to compensate the farmers for having lost. Some of them will even lose a season because they planted using the wrong fertilizer they are not aware of. They wait for their seedlings to germinate. They are very slow, so they are going to lose a season. We are going to talk about compensation so that it's going to be a lesson moving forward to anybody in this country who thinks that he's going to be supplying dubious or substandard products and use public resources to be paid for that. I think this is the best opportunity to teach everybody that lesson. Thank you.
Mwisho, Senator Chute.
Thank you very much, Chair. I will again refer back to both the CS and the MD. If you look at prices of fertilizer internationally, let's look at May 2022. The prices of fertilizer ranges from, the cheapest one is about $400. The most expensive one is at $1,200. What I wanted to know, the prices of fertilizer as of today, January to March, even November, going back to September 2023, the prices has reduced by not only half, by almost 60% to 70%. When you talk about subsidy, to me, I think it doesn't count as subsidy because the prices of fertilizer has gone down drastically. And then my question is, when you give the price of 1,800 as subsidy on top of the 2,500, where did you get that calculation from? That pays the supplier 3,850, while the price, the cheapest price today for fertilizer is 1,300 in the world market. So are you giving fertilizer to farmers at a cheaper price or triple price? Because the prices as now, as I have it with me now here, as January, November 2023 to May to March 2024, the prices are at $190. Some are at $200. The highest is $600. So if you tabulate that amount to Kenya shillings per bag of 50 kg, you will get the cheapest fertilizer at 1,300, the most expensive one at 2,200. So if you are giving a supplier at 3,850, can you, when CS, explain to me why are you paying these people at 3,800? And that is the reason why I was saying, why don't you use National Cereals and Produce Board? It is because maybe National Cereals and Produce Board cannot give a kickback but a supplier can easily give a kickback. This is exactly what happened at KNTC. They imported a lot of cooking oil, but then they added $9 on top of the normal price. So if you look at the international price, I will say today, as Senator for Marsabit, there is no subsidy. This is enriching a few people who you nominated as suppliers. What do you say about that, Yes.
Yes, Chairman, let me generally
in summary,
say this. You know, at the point of contract signing, you can only be sure when you look at the rates in the international markets of the fertilizers at that particular time. Number two, there are many other costs that you may not be able to see at the time of looking at the cost of fertilizer, because there is bagging for those that bring in Mombasa, there are clearances and so many and some other levies, which also will increase the cost of the fertilizer. So I'm not trying to defend the pricing, but also understand that when you look at the rate of the dollar as at December or November, when the procurement on the orders were being done, the dollar was probably at its highest. Remember, it's just the last 2 weeks that we've been able to contain the dollar from the 160s to around 130, creating that difference. So the ordering time, the prevailing exchange rates at that time, the other levels may constitute a difference. But because, you know, just like we've said, Kimote is always interacting with the vendors and checking on the prices every time because it's a procuring entity. Probably I would ask him to really chip in this one.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. What I need to add on this is that basically we do the surveillance of fertilizer prices in the market. And you are right, Senator, that the prices has come down. But based on the time of the procurement, which was sometimes last year in November, the exchange rate was very high. And also, number two, the cost of freight was equally high. And therefore, because of that, we got the most competitive price of the fertilizers. And that is why, Chair, if you look at those farms who do blended for fertilizers in the country, the average price was 5,000 shillings per 50 kg of a bag for a planted fertilizer. That was the average price. Because they imported the raw materials a little bit expensive, sometimes in August or thereabouts. Remember, it takes almost 2 months to get the raw materials in the country. So we did our own analysis and we confirmed indeed the price which we levied for the fertilizer program for 2024 long range were the most competitive prices. We could not get those kind of prices in any other place. And therefore, we got the price which we feel the citizens of this country can get value.
Okay. Senator Chute, because we need to finish this sitting.
Let me
ask another one question, then Senator Akoli, then we go to the other matter.
It's a rider to my question. I want to thank the CS for even the MD for noting that the prices has drastically reduced.
Yeah.
And if what you are telling me in November, if you look at from September, in fact, go back to May 2023, the price has gone down. In fact, May 2023, June, July, prices are lower. Now it's slightly higher. So would you tell this country today that if I buy a fertilizer today and pay all the cost, I've been in business for 40 years, my friend, and similar business. When I'm talking about this fertilizer, I know what I'm talking about. And I want Kenyans to know that the fertilizer they are saying is subsidized. It's not really subsidized. In fact, the prices it has gone up for one simple reason. You said this order is for November, but I'm telling you in May, the prices are even lower than what it is now. So please tell the Kenyans that in the next consignment, the prices of fertilizer would be at 1,800 because computing all the transport cost, insurance and all those things, it will land in Nairobi at 1,700. And I beg, if anybody wants to challenge, I'm ready for that one. So please tell us that the price is higher because of the contract you've gone into, because you wanted to help a certain supplier because you are getting some kickbacks from that supplier.
Senator Chute, you know, whoever arranges should prove. And it's better not to cast aspersion. If you have any evidence about kickbacks, you should table it before the chair.
Chair,
Senator Chute, if you don't have, please withdraw that statement.
with your indulgence, Chair, I agree with you, but you know, in business, definitely the MD, National Cereals and Produce Board, knows the international price.
Senator Chute, yes. You have arranged.
Yes.
Please prove or withdraw. For the record, it's important.
What am I going to withdraw, Chair?
You have said there is a kickback and...
the issue of kickback, the issue, that one I can withdraw. But knowing what is happening, you know, I belong to UDA party. And I wanted this government to succeed in all ways possible. But these CSS and MDs are creating problems for this country. And why should I keep quiet? I am here today as a friend of this committee because this is the issue that is affecting Kenyans, millions and millions of Kenyans. And that's why I say, if I am asked today, the price of fertilizer without subsidy will be at 1,800. So will I...
CS, MD, I think if the prices have come down for the subsidy fertilizer internationally, I think it should be also be fairly represented. You negotiate on the prices the farmers are paying, isn't it? Can you promise that the next program, because you know the fertilizer is down, we may enjoy better pricing in terms of the price that the farmers are paying, because it will increase the production because of the lower cost of production. Is it practical or is it not? According to the question that has been asked by Senator Chute.
Chair, if you may allow, just to light on that one, as you're answering that one, Bona MD, are these contracts fixed or can they be varied? So that now we look at now, there can some people who are given 500,000 bags. Can you renegotiate or can you say terminate? Or can you renegotiate with them? Because given that the dollar has gone down and given that the international prices have gone down, why is it not possible to bring even that further down, that will also be in alignment with the president's wish to bring the cost of living down and even bring the cost of fertilizer even further down by maybe another 200-300 from the 25 now maybe to 22. Now given that the dollar has gone down by about 30% from where it was. Thank you.
Yes,
Chairman, let me say that it's the interest of government to ensure we even transit completely away from issues of subsidy. Because if the national or international markets can dictate their price that farmers can easily afford, and we're able to produce enough food for ourselves, then that will be our wish. Because the money that we allocate for subsidies will go to doing other things, because the wish list of Kenyans is quite high, and I agree with Mheshimiwa what he's saying. But at the same time, Chairman, usually the issue we are discussing here, issue of food security, is a serious national security issue. There are times when you have no time to discuss some things. Remember, we are working on a crop calendar. We are working on ensuring that we have the right inputs at the right time so that the farmers are able to plant, because we are depending on rain. Most of our farmers are small-scale farmers. They do not have the luxury of the equipment, big machines we are talking about, or irrigation. So when I can tell you, even while there was why this fertilizer again is coming today is because we took quite some time to negotiate with them and they became adamant. The fertilizer coming today is a fertilizer that we give an LC. And there is no other supplier who has an LC. Because we went the consignment way, because we want to become innovative to ensure there is provision of fertilizer. And many other interventions that we have really gone out of our way to ensure fertilizer is there. So what I am saying here, that if we have the luxury and latitude of more commodities in the market, then we can really be able to dictate. The problem in the Gaza region, the Ukraine-Iran war has really disrupted supply chains. Mainly used to take a few days. Today we have another over 2 weeks because they have to go all the way back to South Africa and come. Time is being wasted and it is raining. So I understand exactly what the members are saying, but in the circumstances that we are in right now, it's not really that easy to tell a customer or a supplier, then let us discuss supply with 300 shillings less. Because at the time of acquisition of this product also, or when he purchased or bought his material, then probably the price does not have any room. We are you, probably I've saying this is a learning ground. We've learned. Probably when making the next procurement, we will not do in December, we will not do in November. Probably we may start the exercise in June, so that we have all the time to look and check and ensure that even fertilizer is applied before the start of the long range or the long range season. So MD, unless there is something you want to add.
Thank you very much, Bwana Waziri. So, in terms of the distribution of fertilizer, because now finalizing, we go to the other matter, which we intend to dispense within the next 30 minutes. There is also some issues regarding the distribution of fertilizer. One is delay in distribution of fertilizer. Number two, because you find that, Bwana Waziri, that if you go to the farmers from the Rift Valley region, where the rain comes before the other region in this country, they continue to say that their fertilizer should be at least in their stores in December. First of all, to reduce congestion. Secondly, so that they can be able to get the fertilizer in time and plant during the, before the rain comes. That is number one. Number two is the distribution of fertilizer to the last mile. I know Waziri tried, and that's for the governors, to give at least 4 stations in every ward. That matter will not blame Waziri, because up to now, most of the governors, by the time we are talking, only 15 brought. So the others, they never brought their satellite stations to take the fertilizer. But also, when we went to Embu, there were satellite fertilizer stations, but there was no fertilizer because there was a miscommunication between the NCPB, I think, the CO for cooperatives, which I think it's sorted for now. Number three, Waziri, is we have to differentiate what is grown in different regions. You go to the rice growing areas, you take Mavuno for maize, you find Mavuno for rice. They are using TSP, they are using ammonium, the sulfate of ammonia, but you find they have Mavuno in the stores. It's not usable. Three, Waziri, let's understand the mechanisms and how these plants are being planted. Go to my irrigation scheme where I come from. Because of the water issue, you normally plant in shifts. You find there are someone doing this month, the next month, or even 2 months. So once you start the planting fertilizer for the rice, then you cut it off. You start the top dressing, you must know there are people who are still planting. So it brings a little bit of a problem. That is about the rice. The other day you heard people from avocado complaining because of the tax and the rights. Bwana Waziri, up to now, I am a farmer for macadamia. I have 50 acres. There is no fertilizer, subsidized fertilizer for me. So I buy my own fertilizer. The same for avocado, the farmers for avocado. So once you do and I am already registered, so once you do the formulation, please take note what has been being produced in every each county in this country, then have a very good program for the distribution during the seasons, and if possible, Waziri, why can't you put the fertilizer in NCPB throughout? Kuliko hii ya kuweka leo na kesho wakati kumenyesha, tuweke throughout. Mkulima akitaka kufanya avocado achukue. Mkulima akitaka kwenda kulima pareto achukue. It would be the best way that we can do things, and also enhance the NCPB. Waziri wa MD hataki kukwambia, they have a serious shortage of wale watu wanafanya kazi huko. Napata msichana moja amekondeshwa huko, amebeba wa file, amefinya hiyo kompyuta mpaka vidole inakaa kama mtu anavuta sigara. They are being overworked. Tafadhali enhance the workforce in NCPB, kwa sababu wakulima wengine kama Mosoriot wengine wameenda hapo almost for 4 days get fertilizer. And you know, sisi wa Kenya tuko na tabia kwenda dakika za mwisho kuchukua fertilizer. And if you do that, Waziri, unajua Swahili wanasema kosa moja aliachi mke. Kunaweza kuwa kuna dosari iliingia, lakini nafaa kurekebishwa ili wakulima pia wawe na imani na zile mbolea ambazo tunapelekea. Mahali kuna utepetevu, chunguzeni. Pia sisi tutaendelea tuhakikisha kwamba pia kumenyoroka. Sisi tunampatia all the support that you need. That was the case number 1. So because of time, I would like that we go to
Chair.
Yes.
Another concern from the young people and men who carry bags in the cereal boards. They don't have protective gear. They are not fed well, and the payment is bad. 5 shillings per bag. For one to get 500 shillings, they have to carry 100 bags. I think that is slavery. You need to improve on that, my good friend. Thank you.
Ndio umesikia watu wenye wanabeba magunia kikisho wamekula ugali huko. Make sure they are well paid. They are doing one of the, you know, those young people wanafanya kazi ngumu sana. Bila hao hawataweza. I'm sure MD sahihi nyinyi na waziri hamwezi inua igunia iko hapa kilo 50. I'm sure. Kwa hivyo wale watu wako pale waangalieni, mhakikishe kwamba at least wamelipwa vizuri kubeba zile magunia. You know, this fertilizer is offering the job for these young people. Take care of them. Pia nakumbuka Mbungoma alikuwa analia, Kirinyaga nimekutana nao analia, Nyeri tumekuweko, Embu tuliwapata. Just make sure that at least you take care of them. They are part of you.
Kivua kikuu wanaweza kusaidiwa na maziwa hata kama ni kale kandogo, ndia security. Yes.
Umesikia Senator Mundege ameongea. So kwa sababu ya muda, senators, I think we'll go to the other matter. This matter was we are dispensing of was about the subsidy fertilizer yenye imenunuliwa na serikali. Sasa tunaenda kuna issue nyingine yenye ililetwa kuhusu GPC, but before we delve in it, because we have, and I want to thank you, because among the people who have gone to this committee to appear, KL Chemicals hawako. Sijaona Mavuno wako kuja, Joe came. Sijui kwa nini hawako kuja. Lakini unajua ukiitwa ukuje katika mambo ya kijandiliwa na kesi kifanywa ukose kuja na utumi mtu. Kamati unajua waziri inaamua hata kama umekuja hamba huja kuja. Maisha inakuanga namna hiyo. Kwa hivyo court orders have not seen it, so if there is an issue with the court orders, I would like to see them so that I can make a determination on the same issue before we start. You can, Carol.
Chair.
Chair. Yes.
Chair, can I, through you, can I suggest that
yes, Senator Chute.
Yes, can I ask through you, the CS, to furnish us with the international prices for all the different types of fertilizers, and then freight included, insurance included?
Okay, bwana.
CIF Mombasa prices, so that we can compare those prices with the so-called subsidy prices and make some determination. Chair.
Bwana Waziri, your fund, can you furnish Senator Chute with what he's asking, please? Are you able to do that?
Of course, Chairman, the prices at which we contracted people to supply fertilizer and documents that are public, we will be able to provide.
No, Chair, I think the CS didn't understand my question. My question is, we know the contract they've gone into. We know those prices. It is public. But can he tabulate the prices which are international prices, including freight, which is called CIF Mombasa? What price it will come to, so that he provides us with that one himself, so that we ask him questions based on why he should give more money to suppliers while he can get at a better price.
Someone, I think respectively, that matter is beyond what is I can be able to do, and there are many. There are forces that I've seen that can determine price. I don't think it's fair to take me to the internet to start searching about what prices are prevailing in the market.
Chair, you can rule on that one, kindly.
I think the tenderer was NCPB, under the Minister of Agriculture. And you know there is a law that you must do the market research. You cannot just buy without knowing what you are buying. Therefore, Senator Chute is in order, and the MD for NCPB, being the one who issued these tenders, and who saying that he is well seized of the matter concerning international prices, should offer maybe in form of summation what Senator Chute is asking about, because you must do market research before buying. So that one is in order. The MD, I think you can do that.
And Chair, as you rule on that, kindly also request the MD to provide us with the CR12s of all the companies that were issued with these tenders.
Okay, the MD is aware of that. So, if you allow, we have to move now. I've just furnished. We have a legal counsel here with the court order, and I need some advice regarding that, so that before we continue with the Joe's case. So, Regina, please.
Yes, Chair, I'm with the order here, and this order is directed to the defendants who are African censored, and they are being forbidden from publishing the documents that they aired in any print media. As you can see, the order is not directed to this House, and also in the previous rulings of this House, the House has severally ruled that the courts cannot gang Parliament from discussing matters of public interest, because that is the work that the Parliament is supposed to do, and if that is done, is going to bring the work of this House into a halt. So clearly, if we go back to the order is not addressed to this House.
Okay, I think with that I'm well advised, so I'll go back to Joe, because you also still enjoy the right to either give or engage this committee of the agriculture or not, despite having the court order or not. So are you going to engage the committee, or what is your position?
Chair, could we kindly be provided guidelines on the level of our position in terms of addressing you and our client, so that you give us the parameters so that we don't go overboard?
The issues to be addressed are the contents in the letter which was sent to him. Those are, the committee is just interested in what is the content, the current content of the letter that was sent to you.
Our client can respond appropriately to that. There's no problem with that.
Okay, thank you very much.
Chairman.
Point of order.
Let me. I also want to be guided, Chair, whether it's necessary for me now to be here, yes, because I can, if the discussions really do not touch or involve me, then I can go and attend to other national duties.
Bwana CS, the issue involves the National Cereal Produce Board, a government parastatal directed under you. And any question that you cannot answer, you can direct the MD to answer. But being the boss, I think you should be here. It's not taking long. It will not be long. So with that, I think we'll proceed. And first of all, I think I'll call upon the Joe. There is the reply that you did. Maybe you can take us through on the letter that we sent to you.
Thank you, Chair. I think,
and if you have some copies for the members, please, maybe you can give to Carol to give to senators. We don't have.
Actually, we sent an email, like 3 days ago, and we said you can get the copies from there because I only have my own copy here.
Okay, proceed.
Yeah. Chair, thank you so much. I think the two questions which I was asked by the committee, one was, am I involved in subsidy program? And it's very simple. I've never been involved in any subsidy program in National Cereal Board. And I'm not willing even now to get into any subsidy program, even up to date. So that was the first question. So I need everybody and the committee to understand, because that's what Alan Namu created, like I'm doing the subsidy. That's what he has been writing and displaying and trying to get farmers to understand that I've been in the subsidy program, which I haven't. And I can clear that today because National Cereal Board, they are here. They can say it. I've never been involved. I've never even applied for any tender to be on subsidy. So I want to be clear, I'm not in any subsidy again today. The second question was about my factory. Whatever Alan Nam said, I don't own any factory in Kariandus. What I only have is a distribution deal with African Diatomites. That's what I have. But I don't own any factory in Kariandus. So whatever was showing that SBL own a factory in Kariandus, that's wrong. And anything which was happening on that day or whatever was showing have nothing to do with me, because SBL have a contract with African Diatomite, and the contract says as follows, that I'm supposed to do the distribution and they're supposed to do the manufacturing of the product. I think those are the only two questions I was being asked.
Okay, thank you. The MD for NCPB, do you have any business that you do with the Joe's company? Yeah. And if there is any, I see you've done some mention here which will be going through. Yeah. What is the nature of the agreements that you have? Can you explain that, please?
Yeah, thank you very much, Chairman. NCPB is a commercial state institution. We don't get exchequer funding. And we are authorized by law and also by the mandate of the institution to be able to do what we call commercial trading. That is why we mobilize and buy a lot of, dengus, beans, and maize across the country. And we actually package it and resell to the market. We also have a rice milling plant in Sagana. We intend to have another one in the Lake Western region, whereby we mill our own rice and retrade as Nafaka Foods. We also have facilities across the country which we lease to interested parties, of course within the value chain of promoting food security. You find most of the millers in this country have leased the facilities from the National Cereals and Produce Board. If you go, for example, to Nairobi Grain Silos, you find all those silos are leased by, private entrepreneurs, and we have commercial leases with those companies. That is how the institution sustains its operations. We don't get exchequer funding to be able to sustain our affairs. In other words, we run like a business institution. Even when we distribute the subsidized fertilizer, we do that on